I guess we do have Rich here. Hold on. Let me put on my headphones. I thought you weren't joining, Rich.
I said I would. I said I wasn't, then I said I would.
Okay, I missed the second part. Okay, guys. So we have something in the United States called the separation of powers, which means that there's a system of checks and balance. Congress passes a law, and then the court systems determine if that law is unconstitutional. If it's unconstitutional, the courts have every right to knock down that unconstitutional law. This goes back to Mulberry versus Madison, which was one of the
you mean they don't get to rewrite it on their own?
No, this is one of the first cases in Supreme Court history. But now let's talk about the DOJ, because the DOJ, for some reason, they think that that's not the way things work. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it and discuss that and much, much more on this episode of John Crump News. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a couple different tweets here so you can see up on the screen what I am talking about. The first one is from Gates McGavick. Gates McGavick, you might be like, who the hell is that? This is the official spokesperson for the DOJ, and this is the DOJ stance. So I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here. And we'll go ahead and take a look at it. Gates McGavick says, hey guys, as you previously pointed out, Congress is the issue here, not the DOJ. Registration requirements may be a bad idea, but it's a worse idea to have the courts overturn the rule of Congress unilaterally. You guys know that AG Bondi is a staunch 2A advocate, but that doesn't get as many clicks, right? So this is an official spokesperson from the DOJ totally misunderstanding the purpose of the courts. The courts, the whole entire purpose for existence is to balance out the legislature to rule if a law is unconstitutional and knock down that law if it's unconstitutional. That's where you checks and balances. This goes back to Madison versus Mulberry, who said if a law is repugnant of the Constitution, then it is void, and the courts have every right to knock down an unconstitutional law. So this is an official spokesperson for the DOJ trying to state that the courts should not have the right to overturn an unconstitutional law. And that's why they're defending the NFA.
I was going to say, now that's in reference to the NFA.
Correct. Now, I responded to this by stating, well, let me just show you Hermit Dillon's response. Don't like bad gun laws? Tell Congress. Well, we can go ahead and tell Congress that, but also the courts have a right to knock down bad gun laws.
Hermit Dillon,
constitutional.
Hermit Dillon is Trump's former attorney that he appointed to what judgeship?
No, Hermit Dillon is the head of the Civil Rights Division of the DOJ.
Wow. Okay.
She should know better.
So there you go. So obviously these guys don't understand how the fucking Constitution works and how the separation of powers and checks and balances work. It's either that or they're being dishonest and electorally dishonest. I think it's scarier if they actually believe that the courts should not have the power to knock down unconstitutional laws. I think that's a very scary proposition.
And now tell me why you're not going to become an attorney and fix all this.
Because I make too much money not being an attorney. Sorry, that's the real reason. I responded that Bondi was anti-2A, anti-gun in Florida, which she was. She is now anti-gun. Whoops, I'm gonna fix this a little bit.
Indeed.
And it's already too late. Whatever. She's now 2A anti-gun in the DOJ. The courts have every right to overrule unconstitutional laws. That is their job. It is scary that a DOJ official doesn't know that.
Amen.
So this is quite concerning, and I think it's just an excuse because they chose to defend a unconstitutional gun law. And you got to remember, my sources have confirmed, and also other sources have confirmed now. GOA has a source that confirmed that Bondi signed off on the brief herself.
Wow. Wow. Did she read it? Or was it auto pen?
No, I think she read it. She probably agrees with it.
Did she have ChatGPT summarize it for her?
Probably. But this is betrayal of gun owners, and of course they're going to try to say, hey, we're just defending the law because we don't believe that the courts have a right to overturn unconstitutional laws.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I go back to stating that they are either the shittiest attorneys on the face of the planet, which they're not, they're smart people, or they're intellectually dishonest and they're trying to defend the undefendable by stating. Go ahead.
Well, their defense was really pretty cockamamie. They're stretching and twisting all sorts of things. In the interstate commerce clause, I'm like, it's the interstate commerce clause is a horrific decision.
Yeah, but they will defend it to the death. If you read the brief that we did, there was a lot of talking points from Everytown and like the anti-gun groups. That's why I sent Harmeet Dillon a message asking her when she's going to start working for Everytown.
Whoa. Whoa. So they got the cliff notes from Everytown, is what you're saying.
Oh, that brief reads like weapons of war and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. So I 100% believe that they work a lot with Everytown. Right now, this is going to hurt me to say, but right now the DOJ is more anti-gun than ATF. Not even close.
Yep.
Not even close. And that is something that I thought was, whatever.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, like bump stocks overturned after millions of tax dollars spent. Exactly. And talking about like, oh, it's the will of Congress. Congress told you not to defend this. Congress
Crumpy,
tried
one
to
more
do
thing.
it. It was a Democrat. It was a Democrat who happened to be the Senate parliamentarian that blocked this. So the will of Congress seems like it would have been to overturn this, since the majority in the House and the majority of the Senate wanted the NFA to go away. And you're trying to say that, hey, we're just doing the will of Congress. No, you're not. Here we go. We all knew scam Bondi was anti-2A in her Florida days. Did we expect anything else as AG of the United States? Funny you mentioned that, because I wrote an article when she was nominated about how I thought that was a bad idea.
Mhm.
And how I didn't expect anything else. It's on MLN if you want to go search for it. But it highlighted some of their some of what you have said. But yeah, so like their whole idea is like, oh, Congress is against it. No, Congress actually tried to knock it down. A lone Democrat parliamentarian blocked it from removing from the NFA. So if you're going to use that argument, it looks like Congress actually did that, and Congress told you not to defend this lawsuit, and yet you did. You know,
That's pretty outrageous, and yeah, I'm not happy on several levels.
yeah. Well, I'm not
And,
happy.
and I guess one of them is, how dumb do they think we are?
Well, they're not like, we know Madison versus Mulberry. Most of the audience out there knows Madison versus Mulberry and how the courts have every right, and that's their entire purpose of existing. On at least these courts, the courts we're talking about here, to look at unconstitutional laws and knock down unconstitutional laws and uphold constitutional laws. That's their whole right, or that's the whole entire purpose for existing. But yeah. Oh, here it is. My article, just to prove that I'm not changing my tune. I always didn't like Bondi, whatever. This is from way back in January 18th, 2025, before the inauguration.
Wow.
But there you go. So there we go.
Polar Knight says he loves Bondi. She's very sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, because you got to remember, in Florida, she supported red flag laws, and you know, and a gun ban from 18 to 20-year-olds.
Yep.
And she
Well,
won.
we're
And she
working
also supported
hard.
universal background checks. So
we're working hard to change that here in Florida.
Yeah, you got Hughes carry now.
And guess what I'm not doing?
Open carrying.
I'm not carrying because I'm going to New York.
Yeah. If you ever want to sue the government, talk to me. I'll help you. But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous, and the DOJ needs to be smacked down. But that's what I think. I'm curious to hear what you guys all think out there.
Oh yeah.
So leave a comment. Let me know what you think, because I'm very, very curious. LA Vino Latino says he's in love with Tulsi Gabbard.
I know another popular gun tuber in love with Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know if you'll allow me to say it.
Who?
All right, I'll say it. Coda Boy, KB32.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew that. Okay. All right, guys. I guess that's it. Just wanted to make this video because I thought that was the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard from a lawyer or somebody working for lawyers or the DOJ or anyone in government, because that's just wrong.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's just wrong. This was settled way back in Madison versus Mulberry. And that Madison in that case was Freaking James Madison. You know?
I mean, a legal intern would know this. A law clerk would know this.
Well, not only a law clerk, my son does know. My 8-year-old knows this. My 8-year-old knows all about that. All about Madison versus Mulberry and stuff like that. So if an 8-year-old knows about it, you know, it's elementary, right?
Amen.
But yet they choose to ignore the United States Constitution for their own goals. Sometimes I wonder if they just argue because they feel that they need to win. And if they just say, "Oh, we're not going to defend it," they consider that a defeat, and they don't want to have that defeat on.
I really do believe that's the case.
You know, it doesn't matter what it is that you know, they can't put the Constitution above their need to win. I think that's a huge problem. But what do I know? I'm just a guy in his basement. Just an average guy in his basement. I have no power to change things, but I can tell people who have power to change things what I think. It might not work, but you know, just the average guy in his basement. So what do I know? All right, Rich. What's that?
I hear you.
All right, guys. That's it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy Thanksgiving for Thanksgiving that's coming up. Gobble gobble, whatever. This weekend I'm gonna start watching my diehards because I always watch diehards.
Oh, cool. Are they all on your Plex server?
Yeah, well, yeah. So I'm gonna watch the diehards. My Invasion USA because that's a Christmas movie too. With Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think is a better Christmas movie? Die Hard, Die Hard 2, or Invasion USA? Or Reindeer Games, which was pretty good too.
I've actually never seen Reindeer Games.
It's pretty good. I'll throw it on my Plex for you.
Okay. I'll take a look.
With that, we're out of here.
I'm a big Die Hard fan. That's whether the directors say it's a Christmas movie or not, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I like Invasion USA. Invasion USA is a great Christmas movie. You know, because the Chuck Norris thing, he's feared by the. It's a movie from the 80s, so I'm not going to spoil anything because if you haven't seen it, it's from the 80s. No, Invasion USA was set at the Florida. They came over from Cuba. Cause I like that movie because Chuck Norris was such a badass in that movie that they showed the bad guys having nightmares about him. And their plan to stop the terrorists was to surround the building with the army and lock all the terrorists in a building with Chuck Norris. No one else, just Chuck Norris and all the terrorists in a building and just let him do it. This will stop us from talking about Epstein. No, it will not, because I will keep on talking about Jeffrey Epstein. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you guys later. Call the White House and demand that they put pressure on the DOJ to drop their stupid stance on this whole entire damn thing.
Do we have the White House phone number handy?
I am getting it right now, and I will go ahead and put it in the chat. So if you want to call the White House, it is 202-456-1414. 202-456-1414. So there you go. And Polar Nights, you enjoy the nights up near the North Pole. You don't know, Polar Nights is one of our viewers on Twitch, and he is from Scandinavia.
I thought Norway, right?
Norway's part of
So
Scandinavia.
what day do they celebrate Thanksgiving in Norway?
I don't know.
They don't.
They might. Not our Thanksgiving. They might have their own Thanksgiving. That's why I said Canada has a Thanksgiving.
Canada has the Thanksgiving?
Yes. You didn't know that?
No. I know they have Boxing Day, which sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. Canada's Thanksgiving was on October 13th. So there you go. So October 13th was Canada's. No problem. I called. I'm once again. I've never been a Trump fan. Rich has been the Trump fan out of the two of us. So no one can ever accuse me of being a Trump acolyte or like a Trump worshiper or member of the Trump cult.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a Trump fan, but he does wrong stuff, I call it out. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying. All right, guys. That's it. Have a happy weekend, a happy Thanksgiving. If you're going out of town, drive safe, whatever. The airport yesterday was insane when I flew back in. But I don't have to fly anywhere for 5 to 6 weeks. So there you go.
Cool.
All right. Happy days, Rick.
Happy day.
Happy Joe.
I knew that was coming.
Oh, by the way, one other thing before we go. If you have Rumble tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, and 7 p.m. Pacific, go ahead and tune in to Tundra Tactical. They're going to be talking about this too.
Oh, Tundra Tactical, and Dark does this show, I guess, at 10:30, right?
Yeah, and Dark does his show at 10:30, so you can catch one or both of those. But
I met Tundra Tactical over at Black Diamond Josh's house.
Oh, nice. But there you go. All right, guys, that is it. We are out of here. Thank you so much. And with that, I will catch you on the flip side.